a look at part of that again. Here comes Connors.
Love 40.
Not a real deep approach. The offensive lob, and Connors gives it the stiff-armed overhead. And then bingo. Backhand down the line. Nobody home. Triple break point for Barazzutti.
Connors leads 3-1. Second serve coming at Love 40.
Connors' ball hit the top of the net and was wide, so Barazzutti has broken serve. Jimmy Connors leads in the first game of this semifinal match. Best of 5 sets.
3 games to
3
2.
games to 2.
Connors leads first set.
Platters, dry roasted nuts. Wow, they're still warm. Warm because they go right from the roaster into the jar. Then they're double sealed to keep in that fresh roasted flavor. So they sound fresh roasted, smell fresh roasted, taste fresh roasted. That Planters seasoning, nothing like it. That's Planters. Congratulations, gang.
Planters, fresh roasted, double sealed. The fresh roasted, dry roasted nuts.
I don't care about love. Just give me the sun and the wind.
But, darling, Riuniti is blessed with sun and wind.
You said Riuniti was for lovers only.
But for nature lovers, too. Riuniti is as pure and natural as the sun and the color of your hair.
Amore.
And delicious like amore. Riuniti, red, white, and rosé for a little later.
It's only natural.
It's good, and it's halftime here at the stadium.
This fall, take a few minutes between halves and build up your lawn with some Scott's Turf Builder. Right now is the best time of year to get a thicker bluegrass lawn by growing more grass plants. Turf Builder will make any active lawn greener now and green up faster next spring.
We're all set for the kickoff now.
Just a few minutes this weekend. You'll see the difference now and next spring, too.
Tomorrow we'll be on the air from 12 o'clock noon again until it's over, featuring mixed doubles, women's doubles, and the men's singles championship. Right now, men's semifinals, Connors against Barazzutti.
Got a couple of men trying to get into that men's final.
Whoever gets there will play Vilas.
Love. Love.
A lot of players, Pat, feel that Connors doesn't play as well on this type of surface, a slower surface, as he does on a faster one, but he's won the clay court championships. He also won here last year.
Brad, I've heard you say many times that a good player can play on any surface.
He should. If he is a good player, he should learn to play on all surfaces. Barazzutti at 40 love, trying to get even at 3-all in the first set. That was wide. Games are 3-all in the first set.
You've seen Barazzutti now 6 games. What's your impression of the way he plays, Tony?
Well, first of all, I'm very impressed the way he moves. He's hardly had to struggle to get to any ball. And he hits the ground strokes well. He can keep it in play. He'll attack you. We mentioned the fact that he has worked on his serve, trying to improve it. on this kind of a surface, a hard true, it's a slower bounce, a higher bounce. The serve is not that big a weapon anyway, so that should not be a big problem for him. Just long.
15 all.
Keep reaching in his pocket and rubbing something on the handle of his racket.
I think it's sawdust. I used to use powdered rosin if it was real humid and hot, sort of to make the grip a little tacky.
All.
It's out.
$15-30.
Now watch Barazzutti after he'd hit that lob pad, and most players will wait as long as they can. When the opponent's about to hit it, they'll guess and go one way or the other. Barazzutti just backed up a little bit. I guess he figured he could track it down.
He tracked down a tough one before that when he hit the line.
All.
It's long,
15-40.
and it's now double break point for Barazzutti.
Connors pulls his shirt out, saying, hey, wait a minute. We got to get to work here. It's the other night against Orantes that Connors made a couple of trips for some nasal spray, as if he were having difficulty breathing. He still seems to be having that problem.
Still break point.
Games are 3-all first set.
Watch this lob. Now Connors goes back. He knows it's going to be very deep. Hit right on the baseline. He gives you that backward overhead, whatever you want to call that. Barazzutti mishit that topspin ball, and it just barely went out. Looks like a little ballet there by Jimmy. So it's deuce, 3-all first set. And again, break point for Barazzutti.
Over the years, that's the ball he misses more often than any. When he's coming in.
Right. That's like saying Rosewall's forehand's weak.
Yeah.
You know, compared to his backhand, maybe it is, but that doesn't mean he can't hit it.
All.
Jimmy's going over to make sure they look at the right mark.
Jimmy went over and rubbed out the mark as Barazzutti was calling for the linesman to come out and take a look at it.
Don't be discussion here.
Barazzutti looking up at Jack Starr in the chair. And now Connors is being summoned to the chair.
The guy called the ball good. I can't. He's going to beg the guy to call the ball. He can't do that, but he didn't need to.
I asked just the linesman to come in to see the ball. I just asked the linesman to come in to see the ball. You think that is nice? Good.
He's not supposed to do that, but the ball was good.
You heard what Barazzutti said, perhaps. He said he had just asked the linesman to come out. And Connors went over and rubbed it out.
Mr. Connors. Mr. Connors, your attention, please. Mr. Connors. Mr. Connors, your attention, please. You really had no right to do that, although you did it in fun. But the ball was good, and it's deuce. Play.
It is deuce.
I don't think in 41 years that I've been around tennis I've ever seen anyone do that.
That's not a maneuver that would endear you to a lot of people. That is, however. Yeah, he's no doubt got the crowd against him, but he likes that.
Advantage, Barazzutti.
Again, break point for Barazzutti.
It is deuce. And not all the crowd is against him. Connors, I mean.
Let's just hope it settles back down and get in some good tennis. That's what it's all about.
It's deuce.
Gloria Connors not smiling, looking on.
Please.
Again, break point for Barazzutti. And Barazzutti gave a little extra stare at Connors, like say, okay, take that.
It's deuce.
Yes.
Serve called fault. Again, break point for Barazzutti. In case you've forgotten, it's 3-all in the first set.
Been a long game with extra activity. Barazzutti still shaking his head.
I think he's more upset at himself now that he tried to make a lob, and it was not that difficult to try. Just make a good shot. Now advantage to Connors. Jimmy Connors has saved about 6 break points, and he leads 4 games to 3 in the first set.
Connors leads 4 games to 3.
They crossed, Barazzutti and Connors, and sat down with no exchange of words, and really didn't look at each other either. Connors leads 4 games to 3 first set.
When we didn't have the International Ladies Garment Workers Union, we didn't know from day to day whether we had a job or not.
It was a hard way to live.
That's why we work to get the union. We need something to count on.
We're working fair hours for fair pay now.
The ILG gives us a chance to better ourselves and our kids.
That's our union.
And that's what our label stands for.
Look for the union label when you are buying a coat dress or blouse. Remember somewhere our union sewing, our wages going to feed the kids and run the house. We work hard, but who's complaining? Thanks to the ILG, we're paying our way. So always look for the union label. It says we're able to make it in the USA.
Patrolman Robert Colby does a lot of driving in his line of work. Here's what he said after test driving a Volvo.
The turning radius, I was flabbergasted. The brakes, I've never seen anything like it. Again, I don't think I've ever driven anything that is quite as responsive and handles and lets you know what it's doing on the road and offers no surprise to you as I think you have your product here.
7 out of 8 Volvo owners buy a Volvo after a test drive. Maybe you should test drive a Volvo and see what you've been missing.
Tomorrow, CBS Sports will bring you the U.S. Open Tennis Championships, the men's singles finals, the women's doubles finals, the mixed doubles finals. 12 noon until 7 o'clock or until they get through.
58
And that was the first point of game number 8. Barazzutti serving at 3-4. Stasi, who lost to Barazzutti early in this tournament, suited out and at least some of the time watching the tennis.
Up. 30-15.
As I mentioned earlier, Pat, that Barazzutti really gets around the court well.
Oh.
Again, Connors gets Barazzutti on the string, hitting with power. Now closes in quickly to put the volley away. Back live 30-all.
serve. Connors gets around the court pretty well, too. We're having a slight audio problem. There's nothing wrong with your television set. It's in our headsets, too. It's us. That little whistle that you hear. That little whistle that you hear is our fault, and we're trying to fix it. There's nothing wrong with your television set. I'm sorry, Tony.
That applause you hear is for Barazzutti. He was gotten even at 4-all first set. At the moment, the breeze has picked up a little bit. It's a little bit gustier at court level than it was earlier. See the flag standing straight out. $30 love.
$40 love.
I don't think he's complaining. I think he's just talking to himself.
It's wide.
40-15.
Connors took a long look down at the call. Said something.
I think he's needling Barazzutti a little bit now. He sort of took an extra stare and he bothered Barazzutti.
I think what he said is rub it out.
Up 40-30. Game Connors.
So Jimmy Connors holds his serve. He leads 5 games to 4 in the first set of this 3 out of 5 set semifinal men's match from the U.S. Open.
We'll be back with more action from the West Side Tennis Club after this word from your local station.
60 Minutes starts its new season with a look at the bum steer you're getting at the meat counter. Tomorrow evening on CBS.
Free Belmont Horse Sense Derby is a whole new way to win. All it takes is a little horse sense.
I check past performance, jockey, and conditions. And just in case, I check my horoscope.
My mom, she can really pick a horse. You should always do what your mother tells you.
You can win $1,000 any weekday and $5,000 any Saturday for free. See your newspaper for details.
I use the scientific method.
The Free Belmont Horse Sense Derby. You've got thousands to win and nothing to lose.
A lot of people think my big 5 to 7 pound Purdue oven stuffer roaster is the best bird they've ever tasted. But what do you do if you're not that hungry or don't have that many mouths to feed? I'll say you have. It comes with a special recipe on the wing tag and costs around half as much as a whole oven stuffer. It walks a little funny, but tastes just as good.
Channel 2, New York.
Hard on him.
He claims he likes it.
How much, Bob? How much, Bob?
U.S. Open Tennis Championships, West Side Tennis Club, Forest Hills, New York. Men's semifinal. Number 2 seeded Jimmy Connors against unseeded Corrado Barazzutti of Italy, the number 2 ranked player in that country. 2 behind Adriano Panada. Barazzutti will serve with new balls, which he shows to Connors.
Reluctantly.
Yeah. You shouldn't be having any more audio problems. That little whistle in your set, if it's still there, it's your fault.
Up. 30 love.
Watch what happens when Connors comes in. Really makes a super volley off a tough try. Hustles back to the middle. Whoops. Just where I came from. Back live. First serve is a fault. It's 40 love. Barazzutti trying to get even at 5-all in the first set. And he has done so.
It's 5-all first set. We've been on since 12 o'clock. And we'll be on beginning at 12 o'clock tomorrow with the men's finals. It'll be the winner of this against Guillermo Vilas, who beat Harold Solomon. We'll have mixed doubles, and we'll have the women's doubles tomorrow. One of the finalists in women's doubles is Dr. Renee Richards. Been on 5.5 hours, Trabe. How you holding up?
Doing fine, enjoying every minute of it.
30 love.
Cliff Drysdale and Virginia Wade will be back with us tomorrow.
And again, congratulate Chris Everett on her win. She is such a marvelous player and a wonderful person, real lady.
Mentioned before that the winner of this match will play Vilas. Vilas has got a string of 45 straight clay court victories now.
And 6 tournaments in a row.
Right. First time he's ever made it to the finals. So whoever plays him is going to have one heck of a challenge. He's been great.
That's out. And Jimmy Connors has held his serve. So Barazzutti will be serving at 5-6, trying to take this first set to a 12-point tiebreaker.
Now, in general telephone areas, there are stores called phone marts, where you can shop for a phone the way you shop for, say, a piece of furniture. Which makes sense, really, since there are phones today to go with just about any piece of furniture. You just pick out the phones you want, then take them home, and simply plug them in.
G.
No, GTE.
George and I fell in love with this place on a day just like this one. We worked hard fixing up the cabin, and even though we only used it on weekends, to us it was home. I never thought we'd give it up. Then I never thought George would die.
Even if your family should lose you, they shouldn't have to lose all you've worked for. Talk to us about your life insurance needs. Mutual of New York. Money for the future.
It comes from the sun and the soil, the golden goodness of corn. Only one leading oil is made purely from corn. Look at that golden light color. That's Mazola pure corn oil. Golden Light Mazola always lets the natural flavors of your own good foods come through deliciously. And Mazola has no cholesterol. Mazola, the only leading oil made purely from natural golden corn.
A CBS Sports Special, don't forget, Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, the night of the champions. Full evening of boxing. Thought we might have some of that here.
I did too.
Barazzutti serving at 5-6 first set.
Good crisp volley by Connors.
Barazzutti holds service. It'll be 6-all, and we'll play the 12-point tiebreaker.
Because Barazzutti's backhand stayed real low.
30.
Watch the shot Barazzutti makes. He gets it cross court and very low. Connors picked it right off the shoe tops for a winner. Back live. Love 30. And a double fault.
Double fault by Barazzutti. That's the first one.
And it's triple set point for Connors.
Barzolette just barely got over.
Second serve, he tosses the ball backwards, Pat, behind the baseline. Has trouble. He tried to get spin. Could be a real problem.
A winner from Connors, and he wins the first set. Barazzutti, I believe, going over to take off one of his. He took off the headband. How long does it take? These two have never played, Trey. How long does it take to get used to the way a guy plays?
Well, Pat, a good player will you get a good idea just in the warm-up by seeing how they hold the racket, how they try to hit the ball. And usually after a set, you have a pretty good idea what a player's tendencies are.
Do you do any scouting of earlier matches?
I would. I mean, when I was playing, I wanted to make sure I'd seen the people that I was going to have to play in action, if I possibly could. You know, Pat, you hear a lot about tennis players choking. I read an article that said that Barazzutti used to choke. They used to think Vilas choked. That's out.
I like what Ken Venturi has to say about choking. That is, you got to win a few times before you even have a chance to choke.
That's right. But a lot of times, you know, a player will serve a double fault and everybody says, oh, he choked, he choked. He didn't necessarily choke. He's trying to do something special with it. He's trying to hit it within a few inches of a line. Or a passing shot, you're trying to just clear the net to make it tough to volley. And it's now double break point for Barazzutti, 15-40. First game of the second set. Barazzutti has broken Connors' serve. He leads 1-0 second set. Connors has won the first set. This is the semifinals of the U.S. Open from Forest Hills.
When you're a lifeguard, you practice all you can, because saving a few seconds may save a few lives. But now comes Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find. America's quality beer, Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
We're about to photograph this house with an infrared camera that will show you where heat is being lost. Watch. The red areas are warm. That's where heat is escaping, and natural gas is being wasted. Now we'll insulate the attic. Use storm windows and weather stripping, and take another infrared photograph. You can see the difference. Saving gas is important. The gas you save can help the economy and help keep people working.
In Soviet Georgia, there are two curious things about the people. A large part of their diet is yogurt, and a large number of them live past 100. Of course, many things affect longevity, and we're not saying Dannon yogurt will help you live longer. But Dannon is a natural, wholesome food that does supply many nutrients. By the way, 89-year-old Bagrat Tapagua liked Dannon so much, he ate 2 cups. That pleased his mother very much.
Shadows starting to get a little longer across the court. That makes it more difficult to see, doesn't it, Trey?
It sure does, Pat. And I remember playing here, and I asked that a couple of the flags be taken down from the top because they would, of course, be waving, and it would be a moving shadow, which is more difficult. But the shadows don't help, that's for sure.
15 low.
When that sun gets completely down and the court is in complete shadow, it's going to be cooler fairly quickly, too.
Out, 15
miss hit.
Yeah, those flags that Tony was talking about a minute ago. I was here yesterday watching some mixed doubles, and they asked him to turn on the lights at about this time. Of course, they didn't have those lights when you were playing.
No, sure didn't.
They've been here, what, 3 years now?
I believe that's accurate.
Connors won the first set, 7-5. Barazzutti serving at 1-love second set.
That doesn't seem to me that Connors is playing with the same intensity that he did against Orantes.
Not at all.
Of course, that's not to take anything away from Barazzutti. Barazzutti 1 point away from taking a 2-love lead in the second set.
Yes.
You know, Pat, as you look around the stadium, it's obvious that no one has departed.
I'll say.
All the way up the very top row, as you can see, everything is just absolutely to capacity.
And standing up at the top of the stadium.
Up.
Another mishit forehand by Barazzutti.
Advantage Connors.
We're going to stay with this. Our scheduled time was 12 until 6. But we'll stay with this match until the conclusion.
This is break point for Connors. He wants to get this break back and get even at 1-all, second set.
Game Connors.
Game to Connors. Barazzutti seems to get down on himself, and then he snaps right back.
Second set.
Pancho Segura on the left. Gloria Connors on the right.
And that's Lorne Kuehl in the middle. He's helped train with Jimmy. He also worked with another famous tennis player named Bobby Riggs.
15 love.
I don't know what to say about that.
Don't say anything.
Okay.
That's too much power. Barazzutti getting a little bit of that hangdog look right now. He has mishit several forehands. It makes me wonder whether he is, in fact, having some problems with the shadows.
Word was that he was inclined to get down on himself when things were not going.
He
exactly
seems to be doing that right now. He's not concentrating on keeping that ball in play. Called out.
Would you like to reconsider that call? I think we're right on the line.
Barazzutti is saying it was good.
Good ball, right on the line.
Right on the line, it's called a good call. It's game Connors. Barazzutti wanted to sat down. Connors was ready to keep playing. So that's the story.
He just didn't want to take advantage of Connors. He knew the ball was good, gave him credit for it.
Cotton keeps America comfortable.
Cotton keeps America feeling natural.
I'd do anything for Bill. So when he said that he wanted comfortable, breathable cotton shirts, I bought him Natural Blend shirts with 60% or more cotton plus durable press. So Bill gets cotton comfort and I get easy care. Natural Blend is great because I'd do anything for Bill, except iron shirts.
When you're looking for comfort, look for the seal of cotton. The more cotton, the better you feel.
I asked for it, I got it, Toyota. I needed a car to get me from California to Boston where I go to school. So I had to have a car with fantastic gas mileage. Naturally, I got a Toyota Corolla two-door custom sedan. And I had to have a dependable car. Naturally, I got a Toyota. If you're going cross-country or cross-town, it's only natural to look at a Toyota. Hey, if you can find a better-built small car than a Toyota, buy it.
You ask for it, you got it, Toyota.
At Allegheny Ludlam Industries, we're in a very special business because we make and use special metals in a lot of different ways nobody else does. Like that Jacobson mower back there, it's made by one of our companies. And we make an electronic component for digital watches, too. We create a lot of different things you live with every day, all the way from this True Temper golf shaft to the stainless steel skin for this.
CBS Sports will continue coverage of the U.S. Open tennis until the conclusion of this match between Barazzutti, and Connors. I had them put together. Connors won the first set 7-5, and he leads in this one 2-1.
All.
Wide.
Just wide.
15.
As close as we can to 6 o'clock. We'll give our stations a chance to identify themselves. And our coverage will continue until the conclusion of this match. It's a best 3 out of 5, and we're early in the second set.
That's wide.
30-40.
And it's break point for Connors. Service break to Jimmy Connors. He now leads 3 games to 1. Second set.
Connors leads second set.
Barazzutti got a break and led 1-love in this second set. Connors has broken twice in a row. Of course, Pat, we usually have more service breaks on this kind of a surface than we would on a faster surface. Slower bounce. The serve is not as effective.
Seems to me, at least, that Connors is starting to pick up a little bit now, playing with a little bit more intensity.
And it seems as though Barazzutti is being bugged a little bit by little things affecting his play. Barazzutti's shot hit the top of the net.
15-30.
Came straight at him, and he couldn't handle it. 15-30. First time, Barazzutti hits the top spin backhand, and it goes for a winner.
He really ripped it.
And it is double break point for Barazzutti. Connors leading 3-1 in the second set. He's won the first set 7-5. This is the best of 5 sets.
Great stretch by Connors.
You wonder why he covered down the line, because Barazzutti from this position has gone cross court almost every time. Connors sensed it or read it and made a fine volley, so it's deuce. I'm sorry, correction, it's still break point at 30-40. Looked as though Barazzutti got a bit of a bad bounce when he came over to hit that running forehand. It jumped into him. He was not able to make a very good shot. And it's deuce. Connors has saved 2 break points. Advantage Connors. Barazzutti continues to talk to himself. Barazzutti's 5'10", 150 pounds, 24 years of age.
There it is.
That serve hit right on the sideline and scooted by. Connors has held his serve, and he now leads 4 games to 1 in the second set. He has won the first set 7-5.
Now, let me tell you something. I've eaten the dust of many a rodeo, and I built up some kind of a thirst. That's why I drink light beer from Miller. It has 1/3 less calories than the regular beer, and it tastes real good. Light says giddy up to all that flavor, and woe to being filled up. And that ain't no book.
What? Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
Now, let me see if I read the ad right. In General Motors' 5-car showdown, they tested their Buick Opal against the Toyota Corolla, the Subaru DL, the Datsun B210, and the Volkswagen Rabbit. There were 4 different tests. Okay, now GM did the tests, but the overall winner was the VW Rabbit. Oh, okay, General Motors, you convinced me. I'll buy the Rabbit.
Blazing a trail through the wilderness and the forbidden Cumberland Gap. It's the premiere of Young Daniel Boone.
Between here and the Cumberland Gap, there's more downright dangers than you ever dreamed of. Rivers that can't be crossed, mountains that can't be climbed.
Rick Moses stars on the premiere of Young Daniel Boone. Monday, September 12th at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Back at the stadium, West Side Tennis Club, Forest Hills, Pat Summerall with Tony Trabert. I'd like to remind all of our stations along the line that at 6 o'clock, we'll do a 5-second station break. But we will continue our coverage until this match is concluded. And tomorrow, we'll have that coverage, 12 noon until 7. It might be that long today. Jimmy Connors ahead 4-1 in the second set. He won the first set 7-5. In the event you might have joined us late this afternoon or later, Guillermo Vilas beat Harold Solomon in straight sets, and he'll play the winner of this match in the finals tomorrow. And Chrissy Everett won her 3rd straight women's championship over Wendy Turnbull of Australia.
Oh, boy, that's some shot.
Some difficult shot.
Disguised to the very last minute.
15 all.
Had good backspin. So once it cleared that net, it didn't move toward Barazzutti at all, and he was not able to get to it. It's 15 all. That's wide.
15.
That's the first one.
Game Barazzutti. 4-2. Connors leads.
Connors still having trouble breathing, it looks like. Gotten careless.
If you can't breathe as well through your nose, Pat, of course you have to breathe through the mouth, which dries that out more quickly. Get that cotton in there.
Well, I know.
Your nose ever been broken?
11 times.
Is that all? And Jerry West.
Love 30.
Well, just like that, it's love 30. So Connors has a service break, but it's a little bit of a hole right here. That's long, and it's triple break point.
We'll be back with more action from the West Side Tennis Club after this word from your local station. $15-40 now. Connors against Barazzutti.
The lights have been turned on, Pat. They won't take effect for a little bit. They're just coming on now.
Takes them a while to get warmed up.
Excellent forehand winner by Barazzutti. And he breaks Connors' serve. So Jimmy Connors has won the first set 7-5. They're back on serve. Connors leading 4-3, second set.
This is a gas flame. It keeps 40 million families warm. It cooks 90 million meals a day. Millions of jobs depend on it. This is a gas flame. It provides by far the biggest share of energy for industry. Getting more gas can't wait any longer.
This is no import. We made this blouse. We belong to the International Ladies Garment Workers Union. We've sewn our label right in here. It tells you we're able to do what every American wants to do. Have a job, do honest work at decent wages. When you see our union label, think of us making a living, making your clothes right here in America.
Look for the union label when you are buying a coat, dress, or blouse. Remember, some